Crocodylus thorbjörnsson, the titan of the rivers. Imagine you're an early human living about 2 million years ago in East Africa. It's hot. You're thirsty. You walk down to the water's edge for a drink. You lean over, and that's the last thing you ever do. Because lurking beneath the surface is Crocodylus thorbjörnssoni, the biggest true crocodile we've ever found. At 25 to 27 feet long and over 2.5 tons, this thing wasn't just a reptile. It was a prehistoric submarine with teeth. Fossils were found along the banks of ancient Lake Turkana in Kenya. Massive skulls so big they made modern saltwater crocodiles look modest. Scientists estimate they had a bite force strong enough to turn bones into chalk dust. Survivor scenario: there wasn't one. If it got you, that was it. You didn't leave behind bite-marked bones, because you didn't leave behind any bones. Swallowed whole like a human-flavored grape. Crocodile anthropophagus, the human eater. Now imagine you survived that giant croc only to meet this one. About 1.8 million years ago in what's now Tanzania, Crocodylus anthropophagus ruled the waterways. Its name literally means human eater. And unlike its cousin, this one left receipts. Fossilized bones of Homo habilis with its bite marks. Most were on the legs. You'd be walking along the bank collecting water in a gourd when suddenly, chomp. The croc pulls you in, spinning like a demonic log until you drown. One especially unlucky guy? Fossil evidence suggests he got bitten by a croc and mauled by a big cat in the same attack. Imagine being on the menu for 2 restaurants at once. Survivor scenario: if you were lucky enough to be in a group, maybe they'd beat the croc back with spears. But the odds were about the same as a cat chasing off a lawnmower. Alright, I will be posting more videos here, so slam that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. This helps us to rank better in the YouTube algorithm. Panthera atrox, the American lion. Fast forward to Ice Age America around 340,000 to 11,000 years ago. You're a hunter stalking mammoths with your tribe. When you hear a low growl behind you, you turn. It's Panthera atrox, the American lion, the largest cat to ever live. 12 feet long, up to 900 pounds with muscles that looked like they were drawn by a comic book artist. They could sprint at 35 to 40 miles per hour, pounce farther than you could throw a spear, and take down prey twice your size. Survivor scenario: if you spotted it early and ran toward open ground, your group might scare it off with shouting and fire. If you didn't spot it early, you wouldn't even have time to say, "Nice kitty." Smilodon populator, the saber-toothed cat. Let's stay in South America about 10,000 years ago. You're walking through thick grass at dusk, heading back to camp. The air is still. Too still. Then you hear it, a rustle. You spin around, but it's too late. Out of the brush comes Smilodon populator, the largest saber-toothed cat ever. Nearly 900 pounds with canines as long as your forearm. It didn't chase prey. It ambushed, leaping from cover, sinking those teeth deep and using sheer strength to pull you down. Survivor scenario: you'd need friends with spears already raised, plus the element of surprise on your side. Which you didn't have, because it was already on top of you. Arctidus simus, the short-faced bear. North America, 15,000 years ago. You're roasting meat over a fire when the ground starts to tremble. A shadow falls across you. You look up, and up, and up. It's Arctidus simus, the short-faced bear. 12 feet tall standing, weighing over a ton, and somehow able to run at 40 miles per hour. Some scientists think it scavenged more than it hunted, but that's not exactly reassuring. Survivor scenario: drop the food, run, and hope it was in the mood for leftovers instead of fresh. Gigantopithecus blacki, the giant ape. About 300,000 years ago in Southeast Asia, the forests were home to Gigantopithecus blacki. 10 foot tall, 1,200 pounds. A real-life King Kong without the movie romance. It probably ate mostly plants, but territorial aggression is a thing. Early humans cutting through its range might have been seen as a threat. And when a 1,200 pounds ape decides you're a threat, you lose. Survivor scenario: stay in groups, make noise, and don't get between it and a food source. Basically, treat it like a grumpy uncle at a buffet. Haast's eagle, the sky assassin. New Zealand, less than 1,000 years ago. You're crossing a clearing when the shadow of a 10-foot wingspan sweeps over you. It's Harpagornis moray, Host's eagle. It usually hunted giant moa, but early Polynesian settlers were small enough to qualify as alternative protein. One strike from its talons could puncture a moa's lungs, or yours. Survivor scenario: don't travel alone in open spaces. Stick to the forest where it's harder for an eagle to dive bomb you. And maybe wear a hat made of sharp sticks. Megalania, the giant monitor lizard. Ice Age Australia. You're hunting kangaroo when you hear leaves crunch. You expect a kangaroo. You get Megalania prisca. Over 20 feet long, 1,000 pounds, and related to the Komodo dragon. Which means a mouthful of bacteria, possibly venom, and a habit of letting infection finish the kill. Survivor scenario: stay in open terrain so you can see it coming, and climb a tree if it charges. Just make sure the tree doesn't already have a giant snake in it. Polar bears, the modern giants. The Arctic. Today, you're setting up camp on the ice. The wind is howling, the snow is blinding, and a white shadow moves in the distance. A polar bear. 10 foot tall, 1,500 pounds, and capable of silently stalking prey for miles. Unlike most predators, it will investigate you purely as food. Survivor scenario: fire, loud noises, and keeping your distance. And if you see one swimming toward you, just get in the boat. Now, the giant short-faced bear, North America's walking nightmare. Meet the giant short-faced bear, also known as Arctotherium angustidens. Imagine a grizzly, then double it, then give it longer legs so it can chase you down at 40 miles per hour. Standing up to 12 feet tall and weighing 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, this thing was basically the Ice Age's Thanos. Unlike today's berry-loving bears, this monster was a meat-first predator. Its skull and teeth were built for crushing bones and stealing kills, making it the ultimate bully of the Pleistocene. Fossils show it roamed the same lands as early North American humans, meaning unlucky hunters sometimes had to fight for their dinner or become the dinner. The giant short-faced hyena, the bone-crushing gangster. If the bear was Thanos, then the giant short-faced hyena, Pachycracuta brevirostris, was his laughing, bone-crunching mafia. Twice the size of modern hyenas, nearly 300 pounds and 4 feet tall at the shoulder. These pack hunters didn't just steal kills, they stole everything. Including us. Their jaws were hydraulic presses designed to snap bones like breadsticks. Fossil dens stuffed with gnawed bones suggest humans occasionally ended up on the menu. And the worst part? They hunted in packs. While one hyena was scary, 15 surrounding your campfire was nightmare fuel. Early humans knew the drill: fire, spears, teamwork, or death. Archaeological evidence even shows human bones dragged into hyena dens, proving we weren't just rivals. We were victims. If you've watched to this point, slam that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. This helps us to rank better in the YouTube.